Previously, in Mahabharata, Sanjaya returned to Hastinapura with the firm message of the Pandavas. Dhritarashtra saw his sons trapped between their blind ambition and the impending doom of war as the court convened. In the assembly, Duryodhana stood with arrogance. "The Pandavas have lost their strength in the forests," he declared. "Let Bhagwan Sri Krishna support them. My strength lies in my own arms. I do not fear their return, for the kingdom belongs to the strong." To calm the trembling king, Duryodhana pointed to the veterans. "Father, do not fear," he boasted. "Each of our elders, Bhishma, Drona, and Krupa, is alone capable of vanquishing all the lords of the earth. Against their combined prowess, even Vasava himself cannot stand." Duryodhana raised his heavy club with pride. "In the art of the club, I am the equal of Balarama himself," he declared. "Bhima may possess brute strength, but he cannot match the technique I learned from Balarama. I shall dispatch him to the domain of death with a single blow." The numbers favored the Kurus. Duryodhana counted his vast forces, 11 Akshohinis against the 7 of the Pandavas. "With the invincible Bhishma leading us, our victory is certain," he proclaimed, looking over the map of their massive deployment. Sanjaya's voice cut through the boasting. "Do not forget Arjuna," he warned. "He rides a divine chariot with 100 immortal horses. His chariot, created by Maya, bears the Vanara, which roars like thunder and emits smoke that blinds the enemy." The blind king reached out his trembling hands. "My son," he begged, "share half the earth with the Pandavas. Listen to the wisdom of Bhishma and Vidura. Do not let Sekuni and Karna lead you into a sea of blood." Duryodhana's face hardened as he issued his final refusal. "I shall not yield to the Pandavas even that bit of earth that is pierced by the point of a sharp needle," he vowed. To him, there was no room for negotiation, only the finality of war. To Duryodhana, the coming battle was not a tragedy, but a ritual. "The battlefield is our altar," he cried. "Yudhishthira is the sacrificial animal, Karna and I are the priests, and our weapons are the ritual tools that will complete this dharma." Dhritarashtra whispered a dark prophecy. "Peace will not come through your words, my son. It will only come when Bhima shatters your thighs with his club and the Kuru army is consumed like a forest on fire. The end is near." Coming next, brushing aside the wisdom of the elders, Duryodhana and Karna rally the younger Kurus. The voices of peace are drowned out as the drums of war begin to beat. The storm has been incited.